Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. This is Midnight Mystery City of Ghosts number 1, which is really like Midnight Mystery number 5 or something, but let's not let mere technicalities like that get in the way here. So, Bernie Gonzalez. What was his nickname that Peter Smith gave him? Bombastic? Was that Bombastic Bernie Gonzalez? It doesn't matter. If you remember how the last mini ended, our hero was totally having like a crisis of conscience, a crisis of faith. He was like, "Oh man, I've seen some stuff. I have seen some stuff," and then he got kidnapped, and that's where we wake up with his kidnapper asking him questions, hiring him for a job. What's the job? To find why this guy is dead. It's a great setup. Our hero has very little information to go on. Very little information to go on. But he does have a few things to go on. A couple pieces of paper, room key at the Blue Llama, and a wallet. Obviously, you want to check that out. You probably want to check out whatever's on those pieces of paper. Then you'd go through the wallet and see if there's something other than just money in there. Guess what our hero does? He does just that. This is exactly what a detective is supposed to do. Given how often I've seen detectives on TV shows just kind of like not do the things you're supposed to do. And when I say in TV shows, I mean like in modern television, like it's all just straight up like, oh, you know what? We're just going to magically like have somebody sit at a computer and type, and now they'll bring up surveillance camera footage from the place, and there's no way they could access that because the camera's not networked or anything. But they somehow get it, and then they use that to go, aha! Well, we can see here the person involved is this person, and then of course magically that person never shows their face, and then they have to go down like, okay, we need a list of like all blonde people that drive white Porsches in this state that have a license plate that starts with 5. And then somebody goes, and then the detective work is over, and they know exactly who the suspect is, and they just need the suspect to do something to trip themselves up because there's only one suspect in the show. At least Columbo, which had a weird story dynamic, because Columbo was all. Columbo's more of a how catch 'em rather than a how, you know, who did it. Like most detective stories should be framed as a who done it. Columbo was a how catch 'em. This starts off very strongly like a detective story, and in the ensuing pages, we see him check this place out. We see him check out one of these pieces of paper, and it leads him to a confrontation. I don't mean just a confrontation with these guys at the boxing gym, although that's a piece of it. No, I mean a confrontation with some clear zombie dudes. Like, what is going on here? These are the zombies, or they're mind controlled, or something, man. What are we getting into? Like some Haitian voodoo stuff? Like, is that where this is going? Oh, and we meet the dude, his employer, is this dude in Raps, man. Hold on, let me find that page. The narration that he gives as he's reciting stuff into the reel-to-reel tape is great. Oh, come on, where is the dude's employer? I think I didn't go back far enough. Let's see. He's Sacco's the Jocko, talking, talking, talking. Or I'm just not going to find that page. Alright, well, anyway, the dude's boss is this guy in Raps. And he's all like, we share a connection you can't understand. And I'm kind of wondering, like, is it a guy in Raps? Or is someone is it a burn victim? Is it, the dude in the first issue that got put in his son's body? Like, is it that dude's sister, Millicent? I think was her name, Millicent. I hope that's right. I think it's right. Like, is that what's going on? I'm not sure. The dialogue is great. Let me read you just a little snatch of this dude's narration as he's bearing his soul into the tape. Try to, talk to his friend here that asked him to do this. Lost something important, Gus. You needed to believe you could find it again. So he asked me to record my cases and talk to you on these tapes about the weird cases, possessions, shadows, zombies, and ghosts. Strange and supernatural, the contradictions. We may not all agree ghosts exist, but I've seen them. I believe that's as much as I need. You needed more, Gus. you needed. Then he gets interrupted here, and I'm not going to tell you what interrupts him. Then he goes on. I know I said I was done with these tapes, Gus. I know it's not everything you need, but I gave you everything I could. So we're on the outs, and we're probably going to stay that way. We're both stubborn like that, but at least that's what Maggie always said. And you'll still keep looking for answers, for the truth about how Maggie died. I understand. I would too. I'm still learning to live with truth. Then he goes out to do some more investigations. One thing, hold on, there's a page in here. I'm going to present it completely, entirely, wholly out of context. That's the only panel I didn't like in the entire book. I liked everything in the book. Like, look at this, man. That is atmospheric as all get out. The people. They got style, you know? They each look different. Their facial structures are different. They carry themselves different. You can feel a different demeanor on every face, the way it's supposed to be. Oh, yeah, there she is, the lady that died in the fire. So maybe she's the masked man in the Raps. I don't know. We'll find out, I'm sure, in the next couple issues. Yeah, look at that. That's so spooky and atmospheric. But there's one panel I didn't like in this whole book. It's this one, right here. It just looks stiff. It looks stiff as all get out. His pose doesn't feel like it's in progress. Feels like he's just kind of an action figure pose there. And his face, I don't know. Something about that. Maybe it's the angle that the nose is drawn at or something, but it doesn't look quite right to me. This is the only panel in this whole book that I had an art objection to. Everything else looked great, man. It's got its own style. Style which is somewhere between Bruce Timm, not somewhere between. It's like Bruce Timm, Batman the Animated Series. Like, it looks like that. Those nice angular jaws. Combined, just a little bit of Jack Kirby, particularly in the way the shadows lay on his clothes. Let me see if I can find an example of what I'm talking about with that. Give me just un momento. Oh, actually, the panel I didn't like has a pretty good example of that. See, the shadows don't quite look like they should in reality. These shadows probably aren't that big because those are not in this pose going to have that big crease. But it feels like some of the crazy stuff Jack Kirby would draw when he was getting towards the end of his career. Like, if you look at the New Gods designs, they have that kind of look to them. Man, use of shadow in this book is fantastic. Look at all that dark space back there to really carry the mood. Isn't it incredible? I think it's pretty incredible. Check this out. It's $1.50. You can get in now. This issue wraps up, or no, not wraps up, not the right word. This issue sets up the new story, kind of tells you what was going on before, and then just trusts that you are, in fact, a human being. That you, a human being, can read a book and understand it without knowing the full context of what came before. You don't need to have read the first miniseries. I'm pretty sure this is a great jumping off point. Because, let's be honest, it's been a while since I read the original miniseries. I don't remember all the details. I remember being disappointed by the last issue because it was kind of a letdown compared to the previous ones. The Burning Bride was really cool, too. Anyway, I'm getting off way off topic. This is a great little book. It's a good whodunit. I think you might just like it if you like detective stories, if you like supernatural, like modern fantasy fiction, if you just like this art style that's very Bruce Timm. Check it out. I don't think you can go wrong for a $1.50 purchase price. Get in on the ground floor of this. You probably won't regret it. Unless, you have just completely different comic book tastes than me, in which case you might regret it. But it's only $1.50. That's really hard to regret as just you know what? I want a taste of this. Trying to think if there's anything else to add, and I ain't got nothing. So I'm going to let you all go. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I sure hope to see you next time. Till then, bye-bye.